Are there any new discoveries about the virus? Is it airborne? Triple mutated? Are there any new variants?
See, there are two things in your question. Basically, it's the route of transmission and secondly of the variant. So let's take up the first one. The original hypothesis or what was believed is, and still we stick to it, is that this is basically a droplet infection. However, there has been some concern and consultations and some studies that recommend that this could also be an airborne. However, with the paucity of enough evidence for declaring it as an airborne, we still consider it as a droplet, but definitely it can be airborne and aerosol infections, aerosol-borne infections. So the preventive measures still remains the same, that we have to follow the social distancing, use of masks. In fact, the recent recommendations also recommend, if you are going to gatherings or some office places or some social functions, we can of course use the double mask here to be better prevented. So this is about the transmission. However, the larger consensus still remains that it is basically an droplet-led infection. But however, the aerosol-based or the airborne infection cannot be ruled out as of now. The second thing regarding the mutation. Now, what is actually mutation? The viruses have a tendency to mutate. It's basically for their own survival. And what exactly is mutations? To understand this, when the virus replicates within the human body, it makes copies of itself in lakhs and crores. So during this replication, the genome sequence gets altered, or there is some mutation, what we call it as some change in the genetic sequencing, and that is what is mutations. So mutations are happening. There has been various mutations of what we call it variants of concerns. And these mutations are, or the mutant variants are responsible for massive surge in cases in a short span of time. Like in December, January, it was what we called B117 that it originated from the UK and then traveled to various parts of the different countries. India also have that variant prevalent very much in the northern India. Then there is another variant which originated in fact in our country, B1617.2. So all these mutants are responsible for the massive surge in cases, but these mutations will keep on happening. There has been a recent news of a hybrid mutant occurring in one of the country. So the two mutants, and from that a new mutation has occurred, and that is called the hybrid mutant. So the virus will keep on mutating. The only solution that we have, if we want to protect our lives, if we want to protect our citizens, we have to follow social distancing, mask and hand sanitization along with vaccination. And the government's vaccination drive is also going on well. However, it needs to be ramped up. Unless we speed up the vaccination, we may not be able to prevent even future waves.